Sex versus making love. Now, this is truly a spiritual message. And yeah, I mean, this is a very rare type message. Very rare message. Yeah, it is. And many people, believe it or not, many people and beings, they don't even know the matter of this stuff. They don't. And yeah, this is a message that is just one of those messages where, I mean, yeah, it is very much extraordinary and rare, once again, and all that stuff. But yeah, sex versus making love, it's a real matter. And I have to get into this. And yeah, I mean, I just got to get into this stuff as I'm being led by the Spirit. And yeah, I mean, God's people will bear witness with this, and everybody else is just outside of it, no matter who you are hearing this. And yeah, I mean, God's people will more or less have access to this too. And everybody else outside of this, you will not have access to this always, and all that deep stuff. I'm being very real. And God is leading me to say this stuff too, you know, and all that deep stuff. And yeah, man, this stuff is deep. But anyways, yeah, sex. I mean, you know, many of you already know, and you're already yearning for this stuff too. It doesn't matter if you're in God's kingdom or not too, concerning this too, because a lot of you people, you're still yearning for it too. And I'm gonna be very real too. Yeah, I'm a part of this too in a way. Yeah, I do kind of yearn for certain sex, and yeah, as I'm being transparent and all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've already told you certain people I masturbate and all that stuff. So I mean, and many of you people are too. You're just not, you're not real, and God is going to get you certain people who are hypocrites. I'm just being real, who are hypocritical, and you're doing things for him and all that stuff. He's going to get you people. But you other people, you don't got to worry about what I'm saying concerning that, because you're already in God, and you have his Spirit, and you're already doing his will. And shout out to you people, all that deep stuff. But anyhow, yeah, man, sex, man. I mean, it is something that like I kind of, once again, like somewhat yearn for in a way, but honestly, it's not really like, it's not something that like see, the thing is with me, with sex, and many of you people might want to know like where I stand at with all this stuff. And I'm very limited at what I can share concerning all this stuff with me, because I can't share everything with you people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But I will share what God is leading me to share, and I will remain, just real, I'm overall real. And, I'm a rare breed when it comes to being real too. I know, I've already said this many times in a way too, but anyhow, yeah, I mean, yeah, sex, I mean, it is something that is like, just kind of like, I do kind of want on the surface in a way, and sex overall, it's just like, basically, it's just in the flesh. Like, sex is one of those things that's in the flesh. Like, you crave it, and then other times you don't, in a way too. And then some people are, yeah, they are sex addicts, and they put sex before God. And see, I'm not, truth be told, like, I'm just not a part of that stuff. I'm gonna be real. This is Mellow speaking though. I'm not a part of that stuff. No. I do masturbate, and I do lust at certain times. Yeah, I do lust. I've already mentioned all these things. You people would know this if, you were real, and you just overall, accepted me for me, and accepted me concerning God's kingdom, but a lot of you will just be outside of that stuff too. And, you're just on the surface with things. Excuse me. But anyhow, yeah, sex, getting back to that. I mean, it's just one of those things that's just in the flesh. I'm being very real. And see, the thing about sex is like, it's really just dealing with pleasure, and many of you people, I'm just, I'm very spiritual. So like, I'm giving you the spiritual matters with this as well. That's what you gotta understand. This is not this is not no schooling or, high school stuff and all this funny stuff, no, this is Mellow speaking, and also me being led by the Spirit of God. So you're going to get a lot of matters with this and a lot of revelation. But yeah, I mean, sex is truly is just on the surface, and it's also like a lot of demons behind sex. Yes, it is. And people do transfer spirits and all that stuff. And that's why I don't get too hype about this stuff, believe it or not, I don't, because sex is it's just in the flesh. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you crave it at times and other times you don't. This is for the people who are more or less, I want to say at least like, the people who truly love God and the people who are in God. And everybody else, yeah, you're going to be demonized, and you're also going to be transferring many spirits with many different people. You people who are just like, sex addicts and all that stuff, and you put the stuff before God, yeah, you people are done. But I'm talking about these, like us, other who's outside of all that, because I'm not a part of that stuff, I've already been very transparent about me concerning sex stuff. Like, yeah, I do masturbate. Yeah, I mean, I have partaken in the sex stuff and all that stuff, more or less too. But, that gets into a lot too as well. But I'm not going to be sharing all of that concerning this particular message or anything. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, just getting into sex, like sex is just, yeah, it is one of those things that like, it is pleasurable. But it's not to be put over God. That's what you got to understand, And see, the enemy, he has deceived the masses with this stuff concerning sex, because you got to realize that he already knows that this stuff is keeping people from not having a relationship with God. And overall, he knows a lot of people are fiending for it. So they will do many things to try to get it. And that's what I'm trying to say. And he also overall just knows that, the transfer of spirits and that there are demons and sex demons and all this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, sex, it's just something that is pleasurable in the flesh and on the surface. But overall, it doesn't have any internal meaning, because you can have sex with anybody. It doesn't mean they love you. It does not mean they love you. And it does not mean they care about you. That's what you got to understand about sex. It's just sex. Like, it's pleasure and then it's over, That's basically what it is. Yeah, And see, with me, the thing about this is I already know all this stuff. I already know this, and some of you people do, and then you other people don't. Yeah, I'm being very real. A lot of you don't even know this, regardless of what it looks like on the surface with people. A lot of people really don't know this. That's what you got to understand, And anyhow though, yeah, I mean, it's really pleasure, and yeah, I mean, it's just in the flesh, and God did create sex. He did. But see, the enemy has corrupted it with these sex demons and these perverted spirits. And he's perverted it with like, his kingdom, I want to say, his demonic kingdom and the fallen angels and all this stuff. Yeah, of course. So sex is, it's just one of those things that it's not to be over-consumed. And I'm being very real, because it will take you away from God, and it will strip you of who you are too. You're not even going to know who you are if you're having all this sex, if I'm being real, because you're transferring spirits and you're transferring demons with people when you have sex. Rather, it doesn't matter who you are hearing this, our spiritual people and God and the real Jesus, we already know this, but you certain people, yeah, you may hear this and all that stuff. And it's not necessarily for you, but yeah, I mean, you're open to hear this as well too, being very real. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, sex is just one of those things that's in the flesh, and yeah, and then it's over with, really. It's not nothing to, it's not nothing to be like, it's not nothing to be like worshiping, that's what I'm telling you, sex, because it is something that's just in the flesh, and more or less, like I said, God did create sex, but sex created by God is more, that's the thing, it's sacred. And, a lot of you people, like, you already know about sex before marriage and all that funny stuff. And yes, I say it this way because it's like, it's just funny to me because, like, a lot of you people already broke that rule. See, me, where do I stand with this? I mean, I will share a little bit, but I'm not going to share everything concerning everything with this. No, no, I'm not. But what I will say is that, I mean, yeah, I did honestly really, I was very loyal with God with this too. I'm being very real. And, I can go without sex a lot more than you people, majority of you people, I gotta say. I really can. Now, and then a lot of you people may be like, what about the masturbation and all that stuff? I mean, people, understand I'm human. That's what you gotta understand. And also understand that I'm mellow and I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not trying to be all this other stuff. Because a lot of you people, like, you just, I keep telling you, certain people, you shouldn't be judging anything if you're not spiritual in God. Because if you are, then you can judge all things. You can, by the Spirit. But if you're not, then, you people just, you're just overall part of the enemy. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, sex, like, it's just, like I said, it's one of those things that's in the flesh, and it's just pleasure. It has nothing to do with, like, love. And, it has nothing to do with you caring about the person either, because anybody can have sex, anybody can pay for it, anybody can do anything concerning sex. And if you're doing anything else outside of all these things, I mean, man, or anything worse, I should say, concerning sex, then, I mean, yeah, God's judgment is on you, and you will be reaping what you sow. And also, I mean, you will be transferring demons and spirits and many, many things when you people do whatever it takes to get sex. Yeah, that's who I'm talking to. But anyhow, I mean, yeah, you people just having sex with so many different people too. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, you guys just not going to know who you are. And more or less, you're going to end up missing heaven, if you more or less just don't come out of that stuff in a way. Be very real. Because it's really about who you're having sex with too. That's what it really is about, because see, fornication and adultery, before I even get into the other stuff concerning making love. But fornication, see, God is against fornication too, but I'm going to be very real. Like, God, it would be better for you to fornicate than for you to commit adultery. Because, see, fornication, okay, you're just sleeping with somebody and, yeah, okay, you're sleeping with somebody. But see, adultery, yeah, see, you're dealing with somebody else's partner or spouse or anything of that nature. And see, that's when stuff gets worse, concerning how God is viewing this and just overall, like in the spirit, like adultery is worse than fornication. Fornication is just like fornication. God is, against that too in many ways, but like it's better to fornicate than to commit adultery. I'm being very real. Fornication, you can repent from. And adultery is it's just a whole nother level is what I'm saying. You're dealing with numerous things concerning adultery, and it's just a higher level of sin. I'm being real, But yeah, overall too, yeah, I mean, it's about who you're having sex with that is going to determine if you are truly, truly just affected by these certain demons. I'm being real. You still will transfer spirits regardless of who you're having sex with anyways. But like determine if you're affected like spiritually and just overall negatively on a high level. Yeah, it's going to determine what that person's dealing with, all that deep stuff. And all the stuff and just what's sitting on the inside of them, all that deep stuff. Yeah. But see, making love, versus making love. See. Now, here's the thing, like, making love it's a whole nother thing, because making love is like, see, there's passion in it. There's love in it. And more or less, God is for it if it's the right person. And I want to say you guys have a spiritual connection, all that stuff. Then, yeah, making love is so marvelous in a way, because it's not just sex at that point. You making love, like you're truly, truly just like doing the things that he or she may like, or any other being this goes to too in a way. And yeah, I say all these things intentionally. But anyhow, you're doing what he or she likes. And also too, as well, like you like you love them for them. First of all, you love them beyond their physical. You love their spirit. You do anything for them. They'll do anything for you. They care about the real you. Your emotions are not a part of this. And yeah, and then if it's ordained by God too, I mean, man, yeah, see, this is where making love comes really in for these people and these particular beings. And see, that's what I'm saying. The people who just are a part of sex, they're never going to experience this or have this, no matter how much sex they're having. So I'm just being real. But anyhow, making love, like, yeah, like this is for like truly God's people. I'm going to be real. And people who God has interest in, just really dealing with this stuff, because see, God is not going to allow a lot of people to be really making love. Yeah. A lot of the stuff you people be seeing it's not making love at all. But anyhow, making love is like, it's truly dealing with like you doing what he or she likes. And, man, it's like your words, you guys are speaking words back and forth to each other that is just truly authentic. It's not just for hype. It's not just for sex. No. Like, because here's the thing too. You can be making love with somebody without even touching them. See, I know you people don't even know about this stuff, and this is a very unusual message. Yes, it is. But you people are so perverted and all this stuff, you don't even understand that this stuff is spiritual. But this is not for everybody. This is for God's people and who God has interest in and who truly is really in God's kingdom, or people who God has interest in. But everybody else, you will be outside of this. And yes, you will be on your way to hell and all these other dark places in the spirit world with the devil. But anyhow, making love is like, God is for this stuff. And also, everybody will not be a part of this, though. No. It doesn't matter who you are hearing this. But yeah, making love, I mean, man, once again, you don't even have to be touching them. And you guys just still have a connection. Like, you have a connection. You can look into their soul, and he or she is looking in your soul, and you're seeing stuff spiritually about them that nobody else sees. See, this is the stuff about making love that you people are not going to be experiencing. I already know. Majority of you're not going to experience this, no matter if you're hearing this or not. God has to truly grant you this stuff, if I'm being real. He has to see something in you and them that is just pure, and that he has to see something in you, and you just have to be really of his kingdom. I'm going to be very real. And you have to be pure overall too, because a lot of you're just going to be outside of this stuff too. And this stuff overall is truly just not for everybody. You got to realize that everybody is not going to heaven, people. That's what you got to understand. And I know you people may be like, what are you talking about? I mean everything I'm saying. Everybody's not a part of heaven, and everybody's not a part of God's kingdom. And God does not smile upon everybody. That's what you gotta understand. God is angry with the wicked people, and he's angry with you people, a lot of you people. And yeah, I'm just being led by the Spirit. But anyhow, getting back to making love, I mean, man, you're just seeing things in your partner that nobody else sees. You treasure them, they treasure you. You don't worry about any like secret intentions, and you don't worry about them like doing other stuff, because it's like you guys just have this like bond, and I want to say like spiritual like relationship that is just like, and this is for God's people and people who God has interest in. This is not for everybody. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, you guys just have this spiritual relationship, and you guys are telling each other about each other spiritually, and you see and beyond. Like I said, you don't even have to touch them necessarily. You guys could just be like, just once again making love. And, man, I mean, you're just like sharing deep matters with them, and they're sharing deep matters with you. And overall, you trust them, and you're sharing your imperfections. and you're just not selling each other a dream at all. Like, that's the thing about it. You're just being very real, both of you, and you're not afraid of what this stuff is coming with, because making love, it does deal with sex too in a way. But see, the thing is, like, you don't have to even be doing that, even starting out as well. You don't even have to be doing that in order to be making love. Like, you're just making love as in, like, the love is already there without sex and without, this physical stuff. You may be a certain way or in a way, but like overall though, I'm saying you guys just adore each other in the spirit. And and then see, when the sex does come into play, it's not sex. Like, you're transferring too, when you transfer spirits and all that stuff. Like, you're not transferring anything unclean or anything of the devil. Now, the devil will be trying to come up against this stuff, because he is against people making love. See, he don't care about people having sex and all that stuff. So I'm being led by the spirit before I close this out. He don't care about that sex stuff. He don't care about that. But when it comes to making love, like, this is a rare thing. This is some damn 60s shit, if I'm being real. It may be a little even more beyond, but I'm just being a little humorous with it too. But this is some shit that, like, everybody is just not going to be having. I'm being real, because, like, God sees the deeper motives with you certain people, and a lot of you people too. Like, as I'm getting closer to closing this out, but God already knows you're just trying to use people for this stuff, the sex stuff. And see, you're already cursed, and you're going to be severely more cursed for you certain people who just are part of that sex stuff alone. And see, but anyhow, getting back to making love too, as I'm getting closer to closing this out. I mean, yeah, overall, you pray. You guys pray too. You pray for each other deeply, genuinely, in so many forms of way of prayer too. It's not just like this religious stuff. No, you're praying for each other in the spirit, and you care about each other in the spirit. You care about each other's heart and all this deep stuff. You care about each other's mind. You care about each other, and overall, you just you're attracted to them spiritually before anything natural, before physical appearances and all this stuff, and you're attracted to them that way too. But also it's more so spiritually. So this is not limited to looks or anything. But anyways, just making love, like, it's just like a soul to soul connection. And you really just, like, you share so many similarities. But this is not, like, it's not too good to be true either. It's just like, it feels as if it is, though. That's what you gotta understand about making love. And overall, you're not gonna be, you know how they say starstruck? Like, I want to say sex struck. Like, you're not going to be sex struck. Like, you're not going to be fiending for it hours and hours and hours later. Like, you may even, like, be passionate with this particular person and all that stuff for a long time. Yeah, you guys may do whatever. But overall, like, it's not just enjoying sex. Like, you're enjoying, or pleasure. Like, this has to deal with your soul exchanging each other's, like, you guys are exchanging so much stuff spiritually, and it's not anything to deal with, like, the enemy. Like, this has to deal with, like, you guys just having a soul connection. You're exchanging much spiritually concerning, like, I want to say spiritual health. If you guys are good in that area, like spiritual health, you're just, like, exchanging, I don't want to say gifts so much, but, like, more or less, like, you're exchanging, like, spiritual mentalities, I want to say too, like, because you guys both are pure and stuff. So you guys are just exchanging that mentalities for the good, though. There's no ill intentions and all this stuff, like, and overall just making love, like, you're just really in love with the person for who they are. You're not worried about all this other stuff outside of that. You're not worried about opinions or all this stuff outside of that, and you're just, like, truly, you just love them for them, and they love you for you, and they love your characteristics. They love the real you beyond what you look like and beyond, like, pleasure. beyond pleasure. Like that's what I'm saying. The pleasure part. And speaking of pleasure too, as I'm getting closer to closing this out, but the pleasure for making love, it just makes it like so much more purposeful, and you're just exchanging so much stuff spiritually according to like God's will, and just, God will intervene with this stuff as well, because this only happens for rare occasions with certain individuals that are pure in God and all this stuff. Everybody else, you will never be experiencing this. I'm being real. Yeah, so I'm getting closer to closing this out. I mean, yeah, making love is one of those things where it's just beyond the surface, and you're just bear witnessing with each other in the spirit, and there's certain things being exchanged. I can't get too deep into that because God does not want me to. But with all that being said, I mean, yeah, you're exchanging so much stuff spiritually, and you guys are just like, you're nurturing each other in the spirit. Like, you're telling one another about certain things concerning your lives spiritually. And yeah, overall too, before I close this out, you guys are not afraid to go against the kingdom of darkness, because this is for God's people. And, God gives you the ability to share certain things with each other spiritually and exchange certain things. And then other things are more sacred for you, just individually alone. God will preserve certain things as well. But this is for making love. And yeah, with all that being said, everybody will not experience this, no matter if you hear this or not. And this is very limited too. And, God's people will have access to this, and everybody else, even if you're hearing this, like, it's not for you, necessarily, everybody who is outside of this stuff, yeah, you will be on your way to hell, and all that deep stuff. No, I'm being very real, because this stuff is not a game. And yeah, this stuff is not for everybody. Everybody else outside of this stuff, you will be in hell, and many other dark places. Everybody who is not repentant to the real Jesus, and yeah, just does not care about God and God's kingdom, and you just want to use people, all this stuff for pleasure too, more or less too. But with all that being said, yeah, the stuff is very deep, and yeah, I love this stuff too. I love God's kingdom. And yeah, I mean, all you hypocrites too, before I close this out. Yeah, you hypocritical people too, you will be in hell too, and you hypocritical people, I just feel bad. I really do, because you guys, you don't even understand these matters, how much like hypocrites are just, you're like you're on a very naughty list when it comes to God. And I don't mean that in a good way either. Like, God is truly, truly against that stuff. That's what you got to understand. So, because a lot of you people, you believe in Santa and all this stuff. And that's what's got me relating it to that, You guys worry about being on the naughty list with Santa and all this funny stuff, but you're on God's naughty list, and this is not in a good way. Like, God is going to destroy you. That's his list of being naughty. It has nothing to do with that carnal shit, if I'm being real. Santa and all this funny bullshit. I gotta be real, because this shit is not a game, though. You people who are truly have not repented to the real Jesus, get prepared for hell and many other dark places. And you people who use people for who they are, you're gonna reap where you sow and all that stuff too. Yep. And you're on God's naughty list, and you will not be making it into heaven. And I'm being real, and he's leading me to say this stuff. So with all that being said, yeah, I'm out.